Hello, I'm Andrea from the Creative Dream Incubator, and I wanted to share a little bit today about my treasure mapping journal. I really love this thing. And I wanted to share it with you, even though last week I wrote on my blog about how I need to take a hiatus from doing the weekly videos so that I would take the rest of the summer off. And then here I am a week later, and like I want to share this thing, and it doesn't really make sense to do it in writing. It just seems this is something I want to do video for. So I'm taking a hiatus from my hiatus. And so what do you think of my hair? I wanted to say, oh my god, I love it. It's about a month ago that I dyed it, so it's faded quite a bit, and it changes as it's fading. I just love it. I love it. And so this is, for those of you who didn't read the post on my blog, I'm growing out my gray hair. I just turned 40. This is what I'm decided to do. And then when I'm exploring ways to make it as easy and enjoyable and fun as possible to be in the growing out process, this is how I decided to do it. Just sort of gradually, you can see it up the top there. I just kind of bleached it out and then put purple on it, and I can put any other color on it as the purple fades. And I actually like it so much that even once I've grown it all out, I might keep bleaching the ends and coloring them or doing things like that, because it turns out I love having purple hair. And I've had pink hair before. I even had purple hair very briefly, mixed with pink, but I just didn't know how much I would love having it right now. So it's a cool thing that I discovered in that process. And it's something that I love about living with your dreams, right? That idea that if you follow what is calling you, it brings you to new discoveries about what you really want, right? I don't think I ever would have woken up one day and thought, I'd like to, color all of my hair purple, because it's just, you have to bleach it to do this, and it's just so much damage, and it's just not something I would really think about doing. But I did wake up and think, I want to be more me, and part of being more me is to stop coloring my gray and to sort of be more of who I am. And then that led to this, which is kind of funny, but that's how dreams work. They always lead you to something that's going to be more meaningful, kind of more heartful for you. So I really love that, and I'm feeling really happy about that. But what I really wanted to share with you today is this treasure map journal. So we're doing the treasure map class on July 10th. And in that class, I lead you through very specifically, or very step-by-step, sort of leading you through the whole thing of creating or drawing treasure maps that lead you from where you are to where you want to be. So it's just another way of using creativity to access intuition and to transform fears and obstacles. So we work through creating your path, finding the way around the obstacles and working out what your next steps are. So it's really, it's really fun because you get to make treasure maps, which is awesome. And it's very helpful because you're accessing deeper and truer levels of intuitive wisdom, because you know how to do whatever it is you want to do. Like, dreams come to you already with the kind of the path for their fulfillment. Like, that's already there. It's just a matter of finding it, right? So clearing out the things that block you, and activating your courage and your ability to work through the obstacles, because you are strong enough, you're brave enough, you're creative enough, you are smart enough to work through any obstacle. So this is what treasure maps help you to do. It just dawned on me, I should maybe explain my white wall here, because that's not how you usually see me in my videos. It's being repainted again, this wall. They're doing some work on it, so that's why I'm all kind of in this weird bland space. Alright, so those of you who read my weekly updates, on Fridays I write about how I'm doing with my dreams. Last Friday wasn't so good. It was like I was just feeling really a strong lack of clarity, and just like I'm not sure that I want what I want anymore, and I don't really know what I want, and just it's a hard place to be, but it's also a common place to be when you're working on creating something that feels authentic and true for you, because you can't just follow someone else's blueprint. So you kind of it's pretty common to go into places where you don't know what you're doing and you don't know what you want, right? But even though it's common, it doesn't make it less frustrating and annoying to be there. So that's actually why I started this new journal. So that, well, since the treasure making is since the treasure making class is happening soon, and I was working on getting the materials together for it, I thought it would be a good idea for me to use that process. So I started with I Am Here. And it was amazing how, as soon as I just sat down just to write about where I am, I got so much relief. Because I was really stressed out about it. So I wrote, I'm here. Messy, awkward, raw, unsure, foggy, disappointed about not being there, vulnerable, cranky. So that's how I was feeling. And as I wrote it out, there was just this huge relief because, instead of kind of fighting against where I am and wishing I was somewhere else, I can just be where I am, and there's always a lot of relief in that. And you also get your power back when you be where you are, right? Because your power is always in the present moment. So when you're fighting against where you are, you're also fighting against your own power. So just writing that out and just like being sort of getting really clear about where I am, how I'm feeling, what's going on for me in this moment. It's kind of brought me back. So then I added a little bit of collage, and it says rainy but smiley. So it was like, well, it's raining. It's funny that like this image just kind of leapt out at me, so I stuck it in, and then I was exploring why it was there, and it's like, well, it's raining, but the raindrops are smiling, so it's like there's good in this, even though it sucks. And then after I sat with this for a while, and I left a lot of empty space on this page, and I wrote here, I need space to be where I am. So it's just like, I need space to be where I am and to not try to fight it and to not try to be where I'm not. And then I wrote, as much as I don't like being here, this place feels important. It's like new possibilities being born and resistance is melting. So that, for those of you who are in the Creative Dream Circle, Module 4 of the Creative Dream Incubator class is all about that. It's all about fear, resistance, your comfort zones, and how that holds you back, and how the process of changing that, it's like you have to work through that process. So there's all sorts of tools in there to help you do that and to explain what's actually happening. So here I described it as resistance is melting. So if resistance is melting, it's like I'm in it. So if you imagine, like, if I'm living in an igloo and it's fine because everything's frozen and in place, it gets messy when it melts, and now I'm like knee deep in slush, right? So that's kind of how it felt, that the resistance is melting. So it's actually good because you're making progress because the walls are melting. So now I'm going to be more free. But right in this moment, it's awkward because the walls are melting and I have to deal with my shit, and it's right here, and there's no way for me to keep ignoring it the way I have been. So that's the where I am part of the treasure mapping process. So then, and the way that I teach this class, we do this all on one page, but right now what I want to do for myself is to do each part on different pages. So just for those of you who take the class, just know that there's always, you can always do this in your own way, right? And I put that in the beginning of the workbooks, always like follow your own creative impulse. And so you have all the permission to just disregard anything I say about it, because it's all about getting in tune and in touch with your inner knowing. So that's way more important. So right now my intuition is telling me to play with it this way. So then I wrote, this is where I want to be. And again, I was collaging, and this image just kind of came to me, and then the idea for the little doodling around the image just came to me. And while I was doing it, it felt so perfect. It was just like, oh yeah, I want these little purple bumps around there, and then I want these like radiating pinks, and then I want orange in the background. And then when I drew this aqua around here, it just was like, oh, that's so perfect. So I couldn't explain in words what was happening there, but I was really sinking into the energy and feeling of what I want and where I want to be. Right. So right now, that's what my treasure map is. It's just figuring out where do I even want to be. So it's not, building a map to a specific destination and knowing like this is where I want to go and then figuring out how to get there. Right now I'm just like, the whole journey is figuring out where I want to be, and that's a place that most of us find ourselves in from time to time, where we just need to give more energy and attention to figuring out and to getting really clear on what it is you really want. And then I wrote, at peace, connected, aligned, deeply joyful, in the flow. So I really like this. This just makes me really happy. And then I'm just doing like intuitive art journaling here. I just wanted this to paint this whole page green, and then I wanted to collage something on top of the green. I didn't know what. And it was sort of like listening to my intuition led me to open this book up. And I opened up at this page that says, "Give me a dream." I mean, how awesome is that? I'm looking for a dream, and I come across this poem that says, "Give me a dream." So the poem doesn't super speak to me, but I stuck it in there because I loved the experience of opening the book up and finding that, and being like, yes, this is what I want. I want to be like super sure about what I want. Right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm just in love with this new book, and this is what we're doing in the treasure making class. So this is only the very first part. You're just sort of working on where you are, where you want to be, and then you start working on the path part. And so there's processes for all of this. We're going to do this live on the phone, so if you can attend live, you can ask any and all questions, and I'll help you with it too. But if you can't attend live, the recording is super magical. It's deep energy work that we're doing, so you'll really feel it's different than just sitting down by yourself and writing where you want to be. There's additional like energetic support here, and then there's practical support in that you can share it in the forums, and I'm totally there to answer your questions and help lead you through it, because this part, even though for myself, I just found so much magic in doing this over the last few days that I feel so much different about it, and it feels like I don't really have obstacles right now, and I can just kind of go. But the next part about this is facing the obstacles and creating like bridges and paths around them, or just just like coming up with ways to deal with that, and using creativity and intuition and imagination and play. So this is just stuff that I love to do. For those of you who are in the circle, I am adding a new class every month right now, and it can get overwhelming, especially because each of these processes are really transformative, right? So know that you don't have to do everything right now. You have the whole year membership, so you can take your time to work through things, and that not everything has to be for you. Like, you can just take some things and leave them and not do them at all. So just give yourself more time to focus on other things, right? I present a lot of things because myself being very creative, I always want to have something new that's creatively exciting to me. So that's why I switch it up quite a lot. It's not because you have to do all of these things. So I just want to make that really clear, that I need to have tons and tons of different tools because I have to spend so much time doing this stuff, because for me, to be living with my dreams means to be super engaged with my creative journaling processes that help me stay connected with like believing in myself and trusting myself, and being really, really intuitively connected. So just to not feel like you have to do everything that I'm doing. I just want to share everything that I'm doing so you can grab the bits and pieces that excite and inspire you, and then go and play with those. Right? So the treasure making class is happening July 10th. I will link to that below. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to share it with you, and hope you're having a great day. Bye.